There you go. Awesome. So a deep breath in, a big sigh out. Ah. In your mind's eye, imagine the vast expanse of the blue sky. And imagine or have the felt sense that the very corners of the sky are gently turning upward. So it's a gently smiling sky, vast and clear and blue. Let your mind kind of become the sky. So your capacity for awareness is like that of the vast, open, gently smiling sky. Now cross that sky, weather may form. Sounds may come and go like little clouds. Sensations, even thoughts or attitudes, emotions may come and go. But always beyond the weather is that vast, open awareness, witness, non-judgmental witness. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, just so you know, you went on the wrong link.
Yeah, Lori is now aware of that, and I'm so
Okay.
glad you poked around and found another link that worked for you.
Yes,
So
I'm
that's
sure a
great.
lot of people are looking for, I know people are looking for you.
Well, she's going to try to help folks out. If they contact her, she'll be able to kind of direct them in a good position. If you want to just jump right in, here comes Karen now.
Yeah, I'm
I would
gonna do
suggest,
class.
oh, awesome. I'd suggest you mute yourself just so
Yes,
that we
I
don't
will.
get
I just wanted to
confused.
let you know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, I'm gonna mute and get into position.
Okay, yeah, just lie back down and take a big sigh. Hi, Karen. I'm so glad you joined us. I know that we've had some link issues, but there you go. It's a learning curve. Okay. Awesome. So glad you're here. We're just starting on our backs today. We're letting everything settle. Hi, Karen. Oh, wow. How lovely, Jerry. Look, Anna, you brought everybody with you. I know that Lori is aware that we're having some link issues. So just know that people may join as we start going through our practice.
Do you really want to see us, or can I go to my name?
You can go to your name if you want.
Okay, thank you.
I love seeing everybody. I think it's wonderful to see everybody, but I understand if you want to not have the eye on you. I'm going to suggest that everybody come to resting on their back. And I'm kind of going forward with the assumption that you know that you can talk to me anytime you need to. All you have to do is press down your space bar and hold it down, and that'll open up your mic. Okay. So as you find yourself lying back, if you're comfortable lying with the legs long, that's fine. If that's difficult on the back, then bend the knees, Let the feet be open a little bit wider than your hips, maybe mat width apart if you're working on a mat. Let the knees drop onto each other like a tripod. Then invite a deep, rich, full breath into a soft belly and audibly sigh or groan, just like you've surrendered. You let it all go. If you're comfortable closing the eyes, let the eyes softly close. If that makes you at all uneasy, then just keep a soft gaze at the ceiling. Pick a little spot so you can let the gaze go soft and not be distracted by letting the gaze dart around. In your mind's eye, imagine or have the felt sense of the great expanse of a blue sky. Very open, beautifully blue. And the very corners of your sky are gently smiling, so that's this vast, calm, non-judgmental sky. Do a mind meld. Let this sky become your capacity for awareness, for witness. Non-judgmental, open witness. Across this vast open sky, weather may form. The vibrations of sound may come across like a cloud forming and then dissipating. So notice all the different sounds, all the little sound clouds. Thoughts may drift by, little thought clouds. Sensations, attitudes. Now, sometimes the weather is calm and serene. They're just those little puffy clouds and they kind of float away. And sometimes the weather is dark. It can be rough sometimes. But know that always beyond the weather is that vast, calm, friendly awareness. From that sense of awareness, observe the breath. We'll move from this very automatic, natural, uncontrolled breath that just happens all the time. Thank God, just happens without our noticing it. But we're going to move into conscious breathing, into pranayama. Let this next exhalation be a little longer, a little more complete. Feel that hug of the belly to the spine and then the softening of the belly as the breath starts to fill you back up again. And breathe a little longer, a little bit more expansively than you have been. So the breath begins to stretch out the lungs, the ribs, the chest. Smooth, steady exhalation until you feel that hug at the belly, that little squeeze out. And then that softens, it begins to melt, and the breath drops back in. The invitation here is to keep exploring that breath. The receiving of the inhalation to a very felt sense of expansion, three-dimensionally, the whole body. The exhalation, smooth and steady, smooth and steady, smooth and steady. Letting go, letting go, letting go, and then squeezing out gently at the end. Emptying out. Making space for that next infusion of prana, infusion of life as you inhale to capacity and you exhale smooth and steady as long as you can without angst, okay? So just moving to the edges of the journey. If you're familiar with the Ujjayi technique of breathing, perhaps this next exhalation, you'll find that broadness behind the sinuses, the broadness in the back of the throat. And you feel the breath caress the back of the throat as you inhale and exhale through the nostrils, through the nose. Long and steady. You may observe that with Ujjayi, with the power of the Ujjayi technique, the in-breath is further purified, humidified. So actually the lungs are capable of taking in more and more of this humidified, purified breath. The Ujjayi on the exhalation brings up an inner strength, a steadying force. Let the sound and the sensation of Ujjayi, which means victorious, it means powerful. Let the power of Ujjayi focus the wandering mind or the, the wavering emotions. Take 4 more of these full yogic breaths in and out, long and steady. And if you can't hear the Ujjayi, come back to it. On your next exhalation, exhale, exhale, exhale till you feel that squeeze at the abdomen, and then completely relax. The easy, uncontrolled breath. Taking a moment to witness from that sky, witness any shift in the weather, physically, mentally, energetically. The gift of settling and breathing. Then, as you're able, bring both knees up to the chest for a hug. Bring nose to the knees to the nose, curling into a tight little ball, and hold the hug for a couple of breaths. Can you feel the breath now fill the back body? So you're coming back to this conscious breathing, Ujjayi Pranayama, if that works in your practice, to fill up the back body. And exhale, you still feel the belly come to the spine. And then holding on to your shins or your thighs, let the shoulder blades in the middle of the back of the head come back down to the earth. Let the tailbone and the sacrum get heavy. And as you do that, notice your jaw. Can you let the jaw gently unhinge? So lips together, teeth apart. Feel into the inner mouth. Is the tongue falling away from the roof of the mouth? Can the tongue relax from the tip to the root? Okay. Let the head now roll across the floor. So the earth is fully supporting the weight of the head as you let the nose, the chin fall from one side to the other. Maybe the next time your right ear drops to the floor, you hold there and you breathe. Imagine that on the left side of your neck, there was a gill, and you could breathe in and out through that gill. Is the jaw relaxing? Is the tongue still heavy in the mouth? Can you breathe expansively in and completely out as you let that whole left side of the neck and down into the shoulders and shoulder blades release and relax? And then let the head roll back through center. Take a pause to notice what one side feels like compared to the other. And then when you're ready, let the left ear drop towards the floor. You don't want to force anything. The release and the breath and the pull of gravity is really amazing. So from that inner sky, notice what kind of weather comes up on the whole right side of your neck, down into the shoulder blade, all the way down that side of the body. Breathe in and out through those gills. And then let the head roll back to center. Just maybe a deep breath in, a sigh out, and then put your hands on your kneecaps and let the legs fall away from your belly a little bit. So you're letting the femurs drop heavy into the hip sockets. The jaws relax, the tongue is released. If you were to lift one of your hands, your leg would fall to the floor because you're just letting the legs go soft. That's it, Annie, you got it, yeah. We're gonna make circles with the legs, but it's gonna be your hands and your arms that are controlling the circles. So you let the legs fall out to the side and then you pull the knees towards your armpits, you push the thighs together, you let the legs fall away from the chest. It's like you're rowing a boat. The legs are going in opposable circles, so they're not both going the same way. If you have any confusion over my words, I'm going to do it here too, so you can look at the screen for a second and see me. I'm the one in the kind of greenish blue stuff. So I'm, as best as I can, I want to let this movement originate from the movement of my arms and my hands. That's a big ask because those big muscles that are connecting your legs into the hip and into the torso, they're really strong and they really like to take charge. So we're asking them to relax. After you've done this a little while in one direction, slow down and then reverse it. Your brain has to do a whole new thing, you know. It's like, oh my God, can I reverse in the other direction too? Okay. The next time the legs fall open and you can give the knees a little hug towards the armpits. Pause here for a moment. Can you feel the shoulder blades sink and the tailbone and sacrum sink? Maybe there's a little side to side action here. I don't know. What feels good? What feels kind of yummy here? Are you still breathing? I'm going to reach down and take a hold of the underside of my ankles and draw the soles of the feet together and plug the soles of the feet into each other like they were Lego pieces. So the four corners of the bottom of the feet are clicking into each other. The knees are opening out to the side. There you are in Baddha Konasana, in a bound angle. You want to let the tailbone and the sacrum still drop heavy, the shoulder blades, the back of the head. Can you feel the jaw relaxed, the tongue released, the eyeballs soft? Are you breathing? Now I want to let the legs open into a straddle. So there we go. They're opening into a straddle. I'm spreading the toes as best as I can. And now we're going to do flex out through, energy out through the heel, then half point, energy out through the ball of the foot, toes spread, and then full point. Flex, half point, full point. Just roll through that movement several times. And then shift the movement into the ankles. So the ankles twirl in one direction for half a dozen times or so, and then the other direction. Are you still breathing? And then reach out through the four corners of the bottom of the feet again. Okay. Now we're going to extend the arms with the palms up, and as you exhale, if it works for you, you lift your shoulder blades up off the floor, you lift your head up as you reach through the legs and you reach out through the feet. On the inhale, you softly put the shoulder blades and the head back down. Exhale. Inhale. Ujjayi Pranayama. Strong, powerful, victorious breath. Now reach through and hold the pose, but don't hold the breath. So keep the breath moving as you reach forward. If this starts to be too much for the head, know that you're in charge, you're in control. You can come out whenever you need. You're still breathing. There you go. Keep reaching out through the feet. Keep reaching out through the hands. And then inhale, softly bring the shoulders and the head back. Bring the feet back together again. Hold on from underneath the ankles into Baddha Konasana once again. You relax the jaw, the shoulder blades, the sacrum. Knees are opening to the side. And you're breathing. Nice and warm in the hip sockets now, right? Okay, we're going to take the, I have to keep an eye on your time here, sorry. We're going to Put the left foot on the ground and put the right ankle onto the left thigh and make like a figure 4 with your legs here. Okay? If you have any doubt, just take a peek at the screen. I want to feel my sacrum and my hips even on the floor. So I don't want to be falling over to one side or collapsing on one side of the pelvis, okay? So the hip headlights are even as best as you can, and you're opening the right knee out to the side. So this is strong external rotation right here. It wants to, for me anyway, it wants to go right up into my jaw. So I always come back to my jaws. My jaw relaxed. Can I still breathe? I don't want to over effort this. If you want more, you lift your left foot up off the ground and you bring your shin parallel to the sky. If you want even more, you can interlace your hands behind the left knee, okay? And we start a push-pull. I'm going to energetically pull my leg towards my chest and at the same time push my left foot into an invisible wall. So my arms are trying to pull my leg towards my chest, and my leg is trying to push my foot into an invisible wall, all at the same time that the right knee is opening out to the side. Throughout, I want to keep the pelvis stable and steady. I'm not collapsing over to one side. And I'm breathing. Most important. Now back off of the push-pull, like you've just turned down the dimmer switch on a light, and cross the right thigh over the left. We're going to part the lower legs and take a hold of the ankles from underneath as best as we can. Oh man, I haven't done this in a while. This is a good thing. So here we are. I'm trying to bring my ankles very gently towards my ears, and I'm breathing, and I'm letting the tailbone drop long and the jaw relax and the tongue soften. Notice that inner weather. Does it stir anything up? Now I'm going to back off of this. I'm going to let it softly release, but the left foot comes flat on the floor. I'm still crossed over here at the thighs, the arms open into a T. I'm going to let my knees now drop to the right and grow the breath. Oh, that's so yummy. Invite some awareness all the way up this left side body, all the way into the low back. Then grow your breath. Let the breath massage everything from the inside out. So it's not gritting your teeth and making something happen. This is like being a flower. You know, opening up to the sunshine, opening up to the energy that's around you, and then surrendering, trusting, breathing. On an exhale, I'm going to bring this left hip back to the floor. And that's going to bring the knees back to center. Unwind, resettle the pelvis on the earth, and just take a moment to breathe, relax, and feel. Notice what one side feels like compared to the other. Bring nose to knees, knees to nose, coming into a little hug. Head comes back down. We're going to open through Baddha Konasana again. So holding on underneath the ankles, letting the sacrum and the tailbone get heavy. Now the right foot goes on the floor and the left ankle goes onto the right knee. I've made the figure 4. I want to really use these external rotators on this left hip to see how much movement I have here without collapsing. So the pelvis is staying stable, the jaw is relaxing, the tongue's releasing, you're breathing. If the body wants more. So remember, these are all in stages, and you can pause at any stage and breathe there. I'm bringing my right shin parallel to the sky and feeling what that does. Being with that for a moment, I'm going to interlace my hands behind that right thigh, right close to the cave of the knee. I'm all the while using these external rotators and stabilizing across the pelvis. I start my push-pull. I'm pulling the thigh towards the chest. I'm pressing the right foot into an invisible wall. Both feet are flexed. You're breathing. Be with it. Notice what kind of weather starts to come up. Can you still have a felt sense of the blue sky beyond the weather? Now let the weather calm down. You're gonna, gradually release, gradually release. Foot can come on the floor. You're gonna cross one ankle or one thigh, I'm sorry, over the other, and then hold on from underneath the ankles and draw the ankles towards your ears. There it is. Tailbone and sacrum are still heavy. They're still long. And I'm breathing. Where can you relax and where do you hold steady? Balance that effort and that ease. I'm going to gently let that, it's like turning down the dimmer switch. I'm going to let that relax. Foot comes onto the floor. Arms open into a T. Let everything settle for a moment. And then let the legs float over to the left. And breathe. Great waves of breath. On an exhale, let this right hip be pulled back into gravity, back to the earth. Knees come to center, unwind, recenter the hips. Let the legs extend. Bring the arms down alongside the body, then reach one leg long and then the other. You feel that from the pelvis, from the hip headlights, okay? From the low back. It's as though my heels are in a little groove on the floor and I glide my right heel long and then my left heel. It's so delicious. Now come back to neutral, as though your feet were standing on the wall away from you, arms alongside the hips. On the inhale, take the arms up alongside the ears. You're in a reclined Tadasana, a reclined mountain. As you exhale, fingertips up and then hands down by your hips. So you begin to synchronize breath with motion. Now the next time the arms are up alongside the ears, you pause here, but don't pause the breath. Keep the breath moving. On an inhale, stretch the right side body up through the fingertips, out through the heel. As you exhale, relax, release back to neutral. Inhale, left side body. And try that a couple of times from side to side. So think of from your belly button down, you're kind of moving down, and from your belly button up, you're extending up. Okay? The next time you're reaching long on the right side, hold that, but don't hold your breath. Now take a hold of your right wrist in your left hand. We're going to move this stretch all the way down the outer side of the body. So I'm going to add a little traction so that my rib cage now begins to kind of arc over to the left. Back body still on the earth. Breathe it all the way down the outside body, all the way down the leg until your right ankle crosses over your left. If your consciousness could float up out of your body and look down at your body, you'd look like a banana. So you're in banana asana, stretching out the whole side body. And then come back to neutral. Take a moment to breathe, relax, and feel. And then stretch the left side long. Take a hold of the wrist, arc. Grow the breath to grow your awareness all the way down the outer leg until your left ankle crosses the right. And you breathe. And then you come back to center, you uncross, let the arms come back down, and take a moment just to breathe and be. Can you notice a quickening, a pulsing, a streaming, a buzzing sensation anywhere? Now we're going to roll all the way over onto our bellies. So rolling onto bellies. Stretch one leg long and then the other. Rock the pelvis so you can feel the front of the pelvis on the earth, the pubic bone and the hip headlights. Then put one hand on top of, let's put a left hand on top of right hand and rest forehead on the back of the left hand. As you exhale, snuggle the pubic bone and the top of the feet firm on the floor. As you inhale, you're going to lift your head and the left arm and elbow come with it. The right hand and elbow stay on the floor. As you exhale, you bow back down. Inhale into this variation of cobra and exhale back out. If you have any confusion about my words, just look at the screen for just a moment and you'll see my left hand and elbow are coming up with my head. They're glued together. Now I'm going to add the opposite leg. So as I inhale, my right leg also extends. As I exhale, I come back to the earth. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Two more. And rest. Notice what one side feels like compared to the other. Put the right hand on top. Snuggle the pubic bone and the top of the feet on the earth. As you inhale, the head comes up and the right arm comes with it. You exhale down. Three more. This next time, we're going to add the left leg. As you inhale, you get long. As you exhale, you release. Three more. And releasing and relaxing. Maybe even turning your head one way, letting the arms come alongside the body. Palms turn up. Deep breath in, big groan out. Then bring your forehead onto the floor, hands next to the chest. Hug the elbows towards each other and towards your heels like you were a grasshopper. As you exhale, strongly pull the abdomen up off the floor towards the spine. Hold it there. As you inhale, take a modified or a full push-up. Tuck the toes under, and now float the hips up and back into whatever kind of modification of downward facing dog you want. I would strongly recommend, at least for a little bit, come up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels high, bending the knees, and pushing the floor forward as you take the sit bones back and up, just to lengthen the wrists, lengthen the spine, give the head a little shake, yes and no. They chew real big, stretch out the face. And then little by little, you dome the groins up and you let the heels begin to descend. They do not have to touch the ground. Primarily, you want to keep the spine nice and long and grow the breath. Strong Ujjayi Pranayama. Let the head have a little shake, yes and no. No tension in the neck. Maybe stick your tongue way out. Make funny faces and sounds. Breathe. Then gently, gently bring your knees back to the earth and curl back into a child pose. Hips to heels, forehead to earth, or if the earth feels like it's a long way away, know that you can always make a little stack with your fists, one fist on top of the other, and rest your forehead on those fists, whatever works for you. Okay. If it works for you to bring the arms alongside the body with the palms up, imagine your arms just like empty coat sleeves. So they're just kind of hanging. Feel how if your forehead does have contact with the earth, or you know, a yoga brick or a pillow or something, then you can begin to roll across the forehead. Let that gentle rocking come into the whole, you know, all your joints just gently being rocked. And eventually dropping back to some stillness. Deep breath in, big sigh or groan out. I'm going to bring my hands on either side of my head, or actually kind of under my shoulders, so I can lift my hips now and roll to the top of the head. And again, give a little massage to the top of the head. It can be a little forward, back, or side to side, maybe even circles. The invitation here is to just feel into the top of the head, giving it a little bit of a massage, a little rub. It's amazing how much tension we can hold in our scalp. And eventually resting back into child pose, deep breath in, big sigh or groan. Just hands under the shoulders so we can walk our spines back up to vertical and take a moment to land. Maybe the gaze very soft or the eyes closed. Notice the inner weather. Witnessing from that vast blue dome of the sky, the inner sky. It's time for Shavasana. I would strongly recommend, if you have a wall available, maybe to put your legs up a wall. If there's no empty wall, maybe there's a chair nearby, or a couch, or the edge of your bed, so that you can drape your legs over a chair, or you can extend your legs up a wall. How wonderful to come upside down, even in this fairly gentle way. Just to bring a whole different perspective to our day. So building your Shavasana in any way that feels yummy for you. That can be in a gentle inversion, or it might just be to lie out, whichever feels best to you. As you find yourself settling in, take a deep breath into a soft belly and audibly groan or sigh. Let it go. For the next couple of minutes, there is truly no place to go. There is nothing to do but to rest in the nectar of your practice. Do you have a felt sense of a pulsing, a streaming, a buzzing sensation in and around the physical form of your body? Rest in this nectar of prana, this nectar of aliveness. Notice where the mind is. Invite it back to the breath, back to the moment. Now invite that powerful, wonderful mind to travel back in time. To travel back like 45 minutes ago. What was it like to first come onto your mat or into your space to practice today? Recall what it felt like, what the weather was like, physically, mentally, emotionally, to relax on the earth and to watch your breath. Then come back to this breath, this moment. Again, notice the inner weather. Has there been any shift physically, mentally, energetically? What are the gifts of the practice today? And then taking a deep breath in, a big sigh or groan out. Notice toes and fingers, maybe letting them have a gentle wiggle and stretch. I'm going to do something a little different for me anyway. I'm going to say that was a really short Shavasana. So if you're kind of in the zone and you want to stay in your Shavasana right now, give yourself the gift of another 5-10 minutes even, or longer, to rest, to be with what is. I will just say a little Om Shanti and a Namaste for everybody. And I'll close the meeting and you stay. But the invitation is when you come out, send a little Om Shanti and Namaste to everybody else that was in practice today. And then move on with your day. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Namaste.